The notification hit my phone just as I was leaving the gym. Lena just posted a new story. I smiled automatically. She rarely posted anything personal. Usually it was pictures of coffee, sunsets, or her cat, Maple. But this time when I tapped it open, my world stopped. In big, glittery letters across the screen were the words, "Finally pregnant. Time to lock this idiot down." Below it was a mirror selfie. Lena, smiling, one hand on her belly, the other holding her phone. And then I saw it, the tag. @It's Mike_Carter. Not me. Not her boyfriend of 3 years. First I thought it had to be a joke. Lena wasn't the type to do something like that for attention. We'd been talking about kids, one day maybe next year. We just started saving for an apartment. She'd even shown me rings she liked. But @It's Mike_Carter. I didn't even know who that was. I felt my throat tighten, like the world had just pulled out from under me. My fingers hovered over the screen, scrolling through the comments. Her friends were going wild. Heart emojis, congratulations, inside jokes. And then I saw hers pinned at the top. "He doesn't even know yet, I'm gonna surprise him tonight." That was when I realized she hadn't deleted the story yet, because she didn't think I'd see it. I stared at it for a long moment before I did something I never thought I'd do. Commented, "You might want to check who's still on your followers list." She deleted the post within minutes. Then the calls started. I didn't pick up. By the time I got home, she was already there, sitting on the couch, face pale, hands shaking, as if she'd rehearsed 20 different versions of the truth and couldn't decide which to use. "Ryan," she started, voice trembling. "That post, it was a joke." "Stupid one. I didn't mean a joke," I interrupted, dropping my gym bag. "You posted that you were pregnant with another man's tag, and you called him an idiot you're locking down. What part of that is a joke, Lena?" She flinched, eyes darting away. "It wasn't supposed to be public," she whispered. "It was meant for my close friends. Mike's just someone I used to." I laughed, sharp and bitter. "Someone you used to what, Lena?" "Talk to," she said too quickly. "It was before us. He messaged me last week and what? You decided to rekindle things by pretending he got you pregnant." Her silence said everything. That night stretched longer than any in my life. She followed me around the apartment, crying, grabbing my arm, begging me to understand. "It's not what you think," she said over and over. "I swear I'm not pregnant. I was just messing with him. Trying to make him jealous. I don't know why Why you what?" I turned on her, my voice breaking. "Why you humiliated me in front of everyone. Why you used something real, something we've talked about, as a prop in your little game." Tears streamed down her face. "I didn't mean to hurt you." I stared at her, the woman I thought I knew better than anyone, and for the first time I saw a stranger. Someone manipulative, careless, capable of lying straight through sobs. "Lena," I said quietly, "who's the father?" Her eyes widened. "Ryan, I told you." "Ooh. Father." And that's when she broke. Not into apology, not into explanation, but into silence. The kind that confirmed everything I feared. Left. I grabbed my keys, my wallet, and walked out before I could hear another word. The night air hit me hard. I didn't even know where I was driving, just that I couldn't be near her. My phone buzzed non-stop, message after message. "Ryan, please answer. It's not what you think. Can we talk, please? I love you." I ignored them all. I drove until I ended up at a quiet park we used to go to on late nights, where we once planned our future, sitting under a streetlight, sharing cheap coffee. The same place she'd told me she wanted me to be the father of her kids. Now I was sitting alone, staring at my reflection in the car window, wondering how many of those promises had been lies. The next morning I didn't go home. I checked her socials. Everything was gone. The posts, the tags, the comments. Vanished. But damage doesn't disappear with a delete button. Screenshots were already circulating. A mutual friend texted me one. "Bro, I'm sorry you had to find out like that." "Find out what?" that she cheated, that she was pregnant by another man, that she played me for a fool. I didn't even know the full truth yet, just the edges of it. But every instinct in me said I didn't need to. 3 days later, she showed up at my work. My stomach dropped the moment I saw her. "Ryan, please just hear me out," she pleaded, eyes red and swollen. "Make it quick," I said coldly. She took a shaky breath. "I made that post to get Mike's attention. We dated in college. He cheated, he left, and I guess I wanted to prove something. I thought if I made him jealous, he'd finally see what he lost." "And I was what, Lena?" I asked quietly. "The idiot in the story. The placeholder until your ex texted back." Her lips quivered. "No, Ryan, I love you. It was a stupid mistake, I didn't think." "You didn't think," I said, cutting her off. "That's the problem. You didn't think when you posted it. You didn't think when you messaged him. You didn't think when you decided to use me in your lie." She reached for me, but I stepped back. "Ryan, please," she said, voice cracking. "I'm not pregnant. I'll prove it. I'll do a test right now." "That's not the point anymore," I said quietly. "The point is that I can't believe a single word you say." I thought that would be the end. But betrayal has a way of lingering, like a stain you can't scrub out. Weeks passed. She texted every few days. Long paragraphs about how sorry she was, how she'd ruined everything, how she'd do anything to fix it. I never replied. Then one evening I got an envelope in the mail. No return address. Inside was a note. Handwritten, shaking letters. "You were right to leave. Took a test. Am pregnant. I'm sorry for everything." That was it. No name. No signature. Just confirmation. For a long time I just sat there staring at that note. My chest felt hollow. Not angry, not even sad anymore. Just numb. Strange how betrayal works. At first, it's all fire and disbelief, the sharp edge of heartbreak. But eventually it burns itself out. What's left is silence, the kind that teaches you exactly who you are when everything breaks. 2 years later I saw her again. I was at a cafe downtown meeting a friend. She was sitting by the window, hair shorter now, face tired but softer somehow. Across from her sat a man I recognized from that cursed post, Mike Carter. They weren't laughing. They weren't even smiling. Just two people sitting in silence, staring at their coffee cups like they couldn't bear to look at each other. I don't know why, but I felt no satisfaction. No revenge. No vindication. Just closure. I finished my drink, paid, and walked out. Outside, the world felt calm again. The kind of calm that comes when you finally stop chasing explanations for things that never made sense. That night, I went home and found the old note still in my drawer. I unfolded it one last time, read it slowly, then burned it in the sink. The paper curled and blackened, the flames eating away every trace of her handwriting. I whispered quietly to the empty room, "Thank you for showing me who you are." Then I watched the last bit of ash fade into the drain and smiled. Not because I'd won, but because I'd finally let go. Months later I met someone new, Emily. She didn't post much, didn't talk about locking anyone down. She just laughed easily, listened deeply, and never made me feel like love was a performance. One evening, as we were walking by the river, she asked me what I thought about having kids someday. Pause. The word someday used to hurt. But now it felt possible again. "Someday sounds good," I said, smiling. And for the first time since that glittery nightmare of a post, I meant it. Moral. Sometimes the person you thought was your forever is just the lesson that teaches you how to love yourself again, and how to recognize real love when it finally comes.